Hi everybody, it's Jenn from McCreath. Since nobody watches my tennis videos, I'm going to put one up there that even fewer people are going to watch. So we're going to talk about the ATP Challenger in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada this week. Today is Tuesday, July 26th, 2022. It's evening, so we're almost through the first round of this interesting tournament. It's the first Winnipeg Challenger since the COVID, which means we haven't seen a Challenger in Canada since 2019, so this is a rather monumental, exciting moment actually for me. Winnipeg National Bank Challenger, 80 points to the winner, $7,200. Okay, so you're not going to get Djokovic or Nadal or people like that showing up here, but you're still going to get some darn good players ranked between, say, 100 and 250. And every now and then in the Challenger, there's going to be somebody who's coming back from injury or somebody who's on the tail end of their career who used to be really good and is hanging on for dear life. And sometimes you get those magical surprises at one of the big tournaments in the year, and somebody wins a couple matches and gets a little bit of the spotlight. And so we got a little bit of everything here in Winnipeg. Let's first talk about, I guess, the most prolific player, former world number 15, Kyle Edmund of Great Britain. He's been injured for most of the past 3 years. Poor guy's had surgery, I don't know how many times. Wrist injury. 2018, he had a pretty good year in singles, made the semifinals of the Australian Open. And I'm trying to find out, well, he made third round of French and Wimbledon. Won the Laver Cup, the second ever Laver Cup. That's a team thing. Quarters of Madrid, quarters of Shanghai, third round in Italy, up to 14 year-end ranking. Canadians will perhaps remember the most infamous moment of Kyle Edmund and Denis Shapovalov's career at Davis Cup encounter, where Shapovalov smashed a ball that inadvertently hit a referee in the eye. Dennis was, I believe, a rookie at the time, and he was disqualified. And ironically enough, I think that led to a friendship with Edmund, who kind of took him under his wing, gave him some advice. So here in Canada, we kind of think of Kyle Edmund as a bit of a big brother, and at least I do, and wish him the best and hope he does well. He has a couple of 250 wins, including at the ill-fated New York Open. He won one of those. I think they played that tournament 3 years out of Long Island. Still, it's a 250. He won it. And he beat Guillaume Alfi in Belgium to win a 250 as well. So, not too bad. 6-2 in Challenger finals. Most recently in Indian Wells Challenger the week before the Indian Wells, the big tournament. Beat a guy named Andrei Rublev. How's that? March 2019. So Kyle Edmund was thrown into the qualifying here and won a qualifying match. And he got himself into the main draw here at Winnipeg, and he defeated Australian Rinki Hijikata 6-3, 6-4. So that's 2 matches back for Kyle. He did play mixed doubles at Wimbledon, but other than that, I don't think he's played a singles match for a couple of years. So we're going to watch closely to see how he does in the next round against a qualifier, Ieni. Liam Brody had a pretty good run at Wimbledon. I think he won, what did he make, third round? He beat a couple of big names there. 133 in the rankings. A lot of potential. Great. I love the guy's backhand, and good serve and volleyer. Number 1 seed here. Took out a Canadian wildcard in the first round. So we'll see how well he does. Number 2 seed, ranked 138 in the world, all the way from Ecuador. Emilio Gomez is notable for being the son of Andres Gomez, of course, the 1990 French Open champion who beat Andre Agassi in the final. Gomez has he's working his way up the ranking. I think he's still fairly young. Number 3, one of Canada's tenured players, Alexis Pospisil, of course, I guess legend might be a little bit out there, but the guy's been in the top 50. He's played every major 100 times. He finished in 4th place at the Olympic Games with Daniel Nestor in 2016 in the doubles, but that's okay. And again, he's getting older. He's had some injury problems, but he's out on the court right now playing his first round match, and he's played a couple of challengers in the past few weeks. So see if we can get something out of Vasek this year. Maybe he'll peak at the right time. Alexis Gallarno is a Canadian name that's working his way up the challenger rankings, and he won his first round match as well. So I don't know, the future of Canadian tennis looks good. I mean, it's looking great now. Felix and Dennis have been in the top 20 now for a couple of years, and it looks like they're going to stay there. Poor Milos, I think, is pretty much done. Pospisil might have a few more runs left in him, but it's always fun to see some of these new names. Liam Draxel, another Canadian, getting a wild card into this tournament, and he lost his first round match. And is there anything else worth hyping up here? Oh boy, probably not a whole lot. Brody Edmund, a potential semifinal, and who knows? It could be Pospisil and Gomez in the other. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. ATP Challengers, they used to archive all their live matches on livestream.com, but I don't think they're doing that anymore. So that's really frustrating. They do live stream still, but if you go onto YouTube, there's people that actually put together highlight packages. I don't know if they have permission to do it or not. It's not me, but if you go there right now and type in pick a match, Edmund versus Hijikata, you'll find a 9-minute video, highlights of the match. And I'm going to watch some of that today because I'm just so excited to see some pro tennis back here in Canada. Of course, there's more ahead. The big one, of course, the Canadian Open. The men are in Montreal this year and the ladies are in Toronto. There's also a couple more challengers coming up, I believe, in the Quebec, Ottawa, Gatineau area, if I recall. Granby, I think, is having a WTA 250 event in the fall, so Tennis Canada, how about us out here in the East? I know it's a stretch to ask you to bring a tournament to St. John's, Newfoundland, but how about at least Halifax? Come on, guys. We got to get more people playing tennis out here in the East because it's just not that big of a game, and I love it. I mean, I lived in Toronto for many years, and I played high school sports. I played university intramural, and I went to the Canadian Open almost every year for, 15 years in a row until I moved out here to Newfoundland. So yeah, play tennis, watch tennis. It's a great sport. It wrecks your knees, but it's a lot of fun, and it's one of the leaders in terms of gender equality. You think of a lot of these sports where the men get all the glory and all the money, hockey, basketball. Tennis and golf, I think, are doing a good job profiling their women as stars. And they are legitimate stars, and they're making equal prize money to the men in just about every major tournament. So, challengers, that's kind of where we need to see the ladies' game grow a little bit. I know we've got the ITFs, but I mean, come on, guys. These players, even at the ATP Challenger level, are playing for practically nothing. I know that there's a program where you pay for their flights and their room and board or something. If you go out in the first round here, you get $520 and 0 points. That'll barely get you a plane ticket out of Winnipeg to maybe Saskatchewan. So if you're coming from Colombia or Brazil or, there's players from all over the world here. Japan, Netherlands. At least give them enough money to make it worth their while. Give them a point for getting into the draw, for showing up. Second round, $860, 7 points. I get it, you don't want to make it too easy, but 80 points for the winner. I mean, that'll help a guy like Kyle Edmund, who's currently 424, I think, in the rankings. He just hardly any points left because he hasn't played much. If he can at least make the finals and get 50 points and play 2 or 3 of these, he'll find himself back up into the top 200, so he'll at least get into the qualifying for some of the bigger events. And we'll start seeing him in the 250s and the 500s again, and maybe a few wild cards. How about at Montreal? Kyle Edmund, wild card. Maybe not in the main draw, but at least put him in the qualifying. I'd like to see that. Anyway, if you're still watching, thanks for watching, and find Tennis Canada out there and tell them you want to see more tennis tournaments here in Canada, because it's fun. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I guess I should give you a prediction. Most of my tennis videos usually do have predictions. Challengers are usually impossible to predict because you just don't know. And having not watched any of this tournament yet, I come in completely unbiased. I do have the results of the first round. Whew. But it could literally be anyone. I'm going to have to pick someone. So let's... yeah. Why not? Let's give it to Kyle Edmund. I'm going to say he beats Gomez in the finals. Let's see how wrong I prove to be. There you have it, folks. Appreciate it. Keep clicking. Give me more clicks. Makes me feel... I don't get any money. There's no advertising here, but makes me feel good to know that people actually pay attention to what I have to say sometimes. Very good. Enough of that. Good night, and we'll see you again soon.